Good
Hello.
evening. It is March 23rd and it is 7:03 p.m. I would like to call the Public Safety and General Government Committee of the Common Council meeting to order. We will go through roll call first. I am here, Jen McMurr. We have Mr. Josh Goldstein, we have Miss Nicole Ayers, and we have Miss Diana Revolus present. Missing are Heidi Alterman, Mr. Ed Camacho, and Mr. Brian Meek. We need to accept the minutes of the February 22nd special meeting. Do I have a motion? Thank you, Mr. Goldstein. Are there any changes or corrections to the minutes of that meeting? Okay, seeing and hearing none, I will call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. Thank you so much. And that was unanimous. Is there anybody here for public participation?
There is not.
Great. So I will open and close public participation. This is going to be the fastest meeting ever. We have no action items from the police department, but the fire department does have one this evening. So I will read that. We're going to authorize the purchasing agent to issue a purchase order to Firematic Supply Company, Inc., East Yampec, New York, for the purchase of 2 fire engines for a sum not to exceed $1,839,225 from account number noted. May I have a motion to move that item? Thank you, Ms. Ayers. And we have Assistant Chief Ed McCabe here to discuss this item and answer any questions that any committee members might have.
Thank you, Jen. Yes, just in short, these 2 fire engines will be replacing our 2 oldest engines. They will go in service at our 2 busiest stations, which are Connecticut Avenue and Broad River. Both engines will carry 700 gallons of water, have 1,215 gallon per minute pumps. Will also carry a full complement of medical equipment, defibrillators, hose, and air packs. So standard equipment for the fire department. And we are looking to take delivery of these probably not within 2 to 3 years, unfortunately, with the delays in the industry right now. So we appreciate being able to get that going. I can answer any questions.
I mean, I know Mr. Goldstein is going to ask if he can ride on it. So that's
Stop. That's not fair. I actually asked this question last time and they said I can't do a ride along.
No, you're not allowed to. That's
I know. It's devastating.
I'm sorry. Any serious questions? I'm really sorry it's going to take 2 to 3 years to get these, but I'm glad we can go ahead and hopefully move this forward for you guys. Hopefully
By
there
the
will
way,
be change.
My only question about that with the timing is we're locked in at the purchase price, right? There's not a chance that the price there's a change in the price due to the delay.
Correct. So
Okay.
once we get everything signed and sealed and through legal, that'll be the price for the 2 engines.
Okay.
Good, because things are not looking up in regards to that area.
No, we're hoping that things start to recover, but so far it doesn't seem, at least in this industry, it still seems that things are very volatile.
All right. Any other questions or comments before we call for the vote? Great. All those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Thank you so much. That's unanimous. Thank you, Assistant Chief Ed McCabe. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And then we also have 3 items from the Department of Public Works, and we have Paul Sotnick here, our senior civil engineer. I'm going to read those individually and call for a motion. The first one is authorize the Department of Public Works to have Eversource Electric install 1 new streetlight on the existing utility pole at the east side of the property located at 15 Merrimack Avenue in accordance with the attached plan at an approximate cost of $25 per month to be paid for from account number noted. Do I have a motion? Thank you, Ms. Ayers. Like I said, we have Paul Sotnick here to explain this. And Paul, if you'd like to take us through all 3 of them, we'll move each one of them individually, but we can get the discussion part of this out. And if anybody has any questions, they're pretty similar.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for having me. As Ms. McMurr said, my name is Paul Sotnick. I'm Senior Civil Engineer with Public Works. And as per the packet that we've submitted, we received at various points in time requests to add additional street lighting in areas around the city. We've received a request from a group of people and focused basically the head of the group, it was number 15 Merrimack Avenue, who was asking to have a light installed in somewhere along the street. And in laying it out the way we did, basically the best spot to put it is at number 15 to try and balance the distances. And just to give you an idea, right now there's 430 feet between the streetlights. you'd like to keep it around 300 or a little less if you could. So in doing that, we're going to end up having, one would be 151 feet and it'd be approximately 279 feet between the one that's at number 5 currently and the one that will be going in at number 15. This price is a price we go out with Eversource Electric in the field, we review it, pick the location, and then it's the cost of the electricity in this case. The contracts that we have with them allow for the installation of an arm and a fixture as part of that contract. It's just the cost of the electricity that we have to pay for, and that's paid for through the taxing districts for street lighting.
Great. Does anybody have any questions or comments regarding this one? Yes, go ahead, Mr. Goldstein.
Quick question. I think this certainly applies to this one, but the bulb, it's a 31. I had it right in front of me. How long do you expect the bulb to last?
31 watt LED, those
Yeah.
can go for 4 or 5 years probably.
Okay.
And
I was
they're a
just
lot
curious.
more energy efficient than what they were previously when they were the hydrogen sulfide lights or other types of lights that we had. But these are LED, more energy efficient lights that we're using, Eversource is using now.
Nice. Thank you.
Great. Any other questions about this before we move it for a vote? Awesome. All those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Thank you. That's unanimous. The second item is similar. Authorize the Department of Public Works to have Eversource Electric to install a new pole and the associated wire for one new streetlight on the west side of Rampart Road at the intersection of Beaufort Road within the city right-of-way in accordance with the attached plan at an approximate one-time cost of $2,500 to be paid for from account number noted. Do I have a motion? Thank you, Councilmember Ayers. Do we have any questions about this one? Paul, can you talk us through the cost difference for this one versus item number 1?
The cost difference in this one, the first one that we had existing poles already there that we could put a light on. The request was from the community in another form of a petition, and they'd asked to have something done at the intersection of Rampart and Beaufort. The difference between this one and the first one is basically there is no pole at that intersection on the west side of the road. So we would have to have a pole installed, and the price of the pole is approximately $2,500 to have the pole installed.
Great. Any other
And the
questions?
wire. That
makes
also includes the wire from the existing pole. And there's one at number 9 Beaufort
Okay.
Road currently. And we'd be taking the power from that and extending it out to the one that we're going to install. So it's approximately 185 feet of wire and the new pole. And we picked to come that way in case anybody's got any questions about that. Instead of going off the existing street light down to the south on Rampart Road, we picked that one because I looked at the trees to try and see what we could do, knowing that at some point the wires, they would have to do trimming around the wire. The one coming from Rampart Road is about 10 feet shorter length of wire. Not a big difference, but a little, but the trees are a lot lower to the ground. So at some point, Eversource would have to do pruning. And the ones over on Beaufort Road, the canopy of the existing trees is probably 15 to 20 feet over where the existing wires are. So you wouldn't have to do anything to the existing trees at all.
I appreciate the attention to detail on that, because we love trees. Does anybody else have any other questions or comments on this item? No. Okay, I will call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Great, that's also unanimous. And the last action item we have is number 3, authorize the Department of Public Works to have Eversource Electric to install one new streetlight on a newly installed utility pole on the west side of Rampart Road at the intersection of Beaufort Road within the city right-of-way in accordance with the attached plan at an approximate cost of $25 per month to be paid for from account number noted. Do I have a motion? Thank you, Mr. Goldstein. Paul, anything you want to add to this one, or have we kind of covered it?
And basically, we've covered it. This is just the cost of the electricity for the pole that we just discussed.
Great. Any questions or comments? Easy. I will call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye, raise your hand.
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you so much. Well, thank you very much, Paul. We appreciate your time and coming out to talk to us about this.
Thank you. Any
Okay.
questions? I'm more than happy to answer them anytime.
Thank you. We appreciate that. And there are no discussion items this evening, so I will call
Motion
for,
to adjourn.
thank you very
Diana,
much.
do
All
it.
those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great night. Take
Have a
care.
good night.
Have a good
Good
night.
night. Thanks, everyone.